Okay, 64-bit edition I'm using, and also it is telling like Java GRE build is edition already installed. Okay, so here I can see the list of benchmarks here. Okay, so first prior to that, so what you have to do means you have to check your what we say like uh, your OS version, right? What is the command to check the OS version? So you have to check what is your exactly your version is that. Okay. Yes. No, for checking my OS version. So what is the command? Can anyone tell? Ask /etc/OS. Okay. So this is the command actually to show what exactly I'm using. Okay. So presently I'm using a 16.04 LTS, right? So kernel is Xenial. Okay. So the same thing I'll be giving here 16.04. So Ubuntu, you have to go to the Ubuntu 16.04. Chmod is used to change the what you say like permissions actually. Okay. So here like 16.04 have been selected here. Okay. Select the CIS Ubuntu Linux 16.04 LTS benchmark. Selected. So I think yeah. So click next. Profiles. Okay. See like there are level 1 and level 2 profiles. Okay. So level 1 is coming under server and level 2 server. Okay. Level 1 workstation and level 2. So the basic difference between this level 1 server, level 2 server. So level 1 and level 2 is nothing but like suppose you are using a work group PC. Okay. So, but there is a like requirement you have to audit only the work group PCs which are not connected to the domain. Okay. So suppose if you are using a domain PC, you have to use a level 2 kind of thing, right? So same thing, it is applicable to the workstation. In my case, I am using a workstation, that too work group. So I am selected level 1 workstation. Okay. See like items be here it is included, and this profile is intended for workstations only. Since I am using a workstation a PC, so I am just clicking selected work level 1 workstation, next one. Okay. So here like you can see like clearly what is the report you required. So by default the HTML format will be there. So it will be like all the test reports will be included. Yeah, so I think someone has raised some question. Please explain the level concept again. Yes. So I think I will go back. Yeah. So this is a level 1 actually, sir. Level 1 is applicable for work group. So work group is nothing but the PCs which are not connected in your Active Directory domain. Okay. That means like if you right click on your PC, my computer's right click on your PC. Can you tell me what is your PC, whether it is in work group or domain? Right click my computer. Daniji, you can just right click your PC and go to the properties and tell me whether it is in work group PC or it is in domain PC. If it is a work group PC, so you have to select level 1. If it is a domain control PC, you have to select a level 2. Okay. Level 1 is for your work group. That means your PC is not connected to the domain active domain server. If it is connected to, that means that if your machine is controlled by Active Directory server or domain member of your, if your PC is your part of a domain controller, then you have to select a level 2. So again, there is a server, there is a workstation. Okay. So in my case, since I am using a workstation, so I have selected a level 1. That means I am a work group member and I have selected the workstation. So work group can also be seen by checking by my computer right click. Okay. So workstation next. So since HTML format report is also needed, so what I will do is just selected the HTML report, and also I required a CSV remote also. Okay. If you require a CSV, you can also select a CSV. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So click next. So it is telling like the benchmark is which you are using. It is an Cisco Ubuntu 16.04, right? And your level of assessment is level 1, that too workstations. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm clicking is start assessment. Okay. It takes some time to analyze all your benchmarks or your security hardening of your PC or your laptop or server or application or web services, whatever it may be. Okay. See how many checks are there. Anyone can tell by seeing my screen? So there are some around how many checks are there. So are you able to see the screen, right? 181 checks are there. Okay. So till now only 15 checks are there and some of them are passed and some of them are failed, right? So mounting the file systems, this sticky bit permissions. So we'll see like after executing the commands and what are the results we got, no? So we'll go into the PC, into the file structure, file system structure of the Linux, whether it is really there or not, we'll check it out, okay? What is NC in this? Where is the NC, sir? Not applicable, sir, it is. Not configured, sorry. Not configured. That means like my removable media is not configured for the Node. This is basically used for the big data center where you have the number of slots which are configured, the USB storage and all those things. Okay. So in some case of like physical security on all those things. So this your removable media is mounted to NDU. Okay. So my assessment is started. So it takes some time to give all the results. So I think, yeah, 141, 148. So you can see a list of things, whether it is fail or whether it is pass or not. Okay. So I think you can use this tool in your PCs or whatever the systems you are using, and you can check it for your the security level of your PCs. Okay. See like password, user mask, password strength, and also like permissions. What are the permissions we configure? Like someone asked in the morning, user privilege, how we can restrict it. So we can restrict through the permissions. So group permissions also we can restrict it. And what kind of users, if the users are configured, so what kind of permissions we have to give for to access the softwares. Software level permissions, root level permission, user level permission, directory level permissions. Everything we can check it from this tool. Okay. So I think 181 checks are done generating reports. So it's almost take 30 seconds to generate the reports. Yeah. So I think we can view the reports. I think it is still generating the reports. I think yeah. So I think we can view reports. Okay, it will be saved in the reports. Okay, so yeah, home. So it will be saved in this location actually. Root. Yes. Yes, I think copy CDAC. 1 2 1 1. Yes, 2. Yes, so we can directly go to this root file system. So we can directly take that file system. Yeah, so desktops are copied on file here. And this is my report. So open with browser. Yeah. So this is my report. So this is my report, sir. Can you able to see my report, HTML report? So this is my report actually, 16.04. So here you can see my summary of what exactly has been passed and what exactly has been failed. Okay. So when you come down actually below, so there is a like what exactly, whether it is a pass or fail. So you can just see the here. Okay. Just minimizing it for the time being so that you can see it properly here. Okay. So see here like what exactly has been passed and what exactly has been failed. So it has been very given very clearly. So we have to focus on the fail parts only. Okay. So ensure under the file system, disable file systems. So ensure mounting of CRAM file systems is disabled. Okay. So you have to go to that file systems and you can see that the CRAM file system is a compressed read-only file systems embedded in a small footprint of the systems. Okay. So it's basically if you are compressing any images and all those things, so it should be your this mounting of the CRAM system should be disabled. Okay. But in my case, it has given an error. Okay. So suppose if you want to do, so you are also given recommendations here, how to enable and what kind of line you have to do, install the CRAMFS file systems, and it will add it to your file systems. Okay. So then this mounting, I think file systems, you can skip it this part. So you can just come to the drop down menu. So coming to the next two file systems, yeah, see here like ensure non-dev option is set to temp partition, means that means this partition, this hardening is it has been run. Okay, that means it has been passed. So you can just go to this command. You can just copy this command from here, copy. So you can just paste in your terminal. Okay. So here you can just paste cd clear. Okay. Clear all, paste. Okay, so that means like temp not mounted or bad. In some cases, useful information found. Okay, so that means like it is if this output is not shown, then it is a finding. Okay, so that means it is compiled. So that's what it is giving an error. Okay, the same thing you can just manually you can check it because it is some around 500 page document. So yeah, so this is also our in our case it has been passed. Okay, so where temp partition. So this is the same thing, can go one by one. So node partition is done. So you just go to the fail one. Okay. Yeah. So here you can just check it out whether to run the following command to remount it. Okay. So once you're done with this command, just check it out whether what exactly the error you will get. Copy this command and paste in your terminal. Okay. Paste. So it has to give a output like particular this has been mounted. Okay. So see here like so once you done these things, it should show a mount pad as /dev/ssm. Okay. So this that means like it has not given any output. That means like it has been compliance has been failed. So that's what the result has been given a failed one. Okay. So assessment also, like assessment is nothing but your proof of concept. You can also directly you can copy paste and you can put in your screenshot. Okay. So sticky bits, like sticky bit is nothing but like something in the file permissions are there. You can just check it out whether it is given or not. Or okay. So it should show the desktop pause this thing. So we'll just copy this thing. Okay. Just paste in your terminal. So what it has been given error, chmod. Okay. So coming to the updates, so whether yeah, initialize whether I need AD is there or not. So same thing one by one you can check it out. File system integrity, whether the file system integrity is there or not, you can check it out. So once you just execute this command, so basically the periodic checking of the file system integrity is must and should be. Otherwise there is a malicious activities which are happening. So you should not able to understand. Okay. So why you have to check is like if any unauthorized file permission has been changed. So you should not be in the mood like who has been changed and why, how it has been changed. So for in order to avoid those such kind of these things, you have to run this command. Okay. Just copy this command. Anyway, terminal is open. So paste it here. So just see any spaces are there or not. Okay, enter. So what it has been done, like this cron tab is not installed. So you have to install the cron tab. Okay. So these are the settings. So configurations and all this you can see. So yeah, so I think yeah, one by one you can just check it out. A lot of things are there. So so I recommend you to use the same thing in your what we say like virtual machines. Okay, don't try in the main I mean like in your main machine until and unless you get a confidence in this. Okay, so here the ensure permissions on bootloader configured. Okay, like something like suppose uh, two types of OS are there, right? So for that grub, suppose I am a person who want to change the grub bootloader permissions. Okay, so in order to do the changes, so I have to set the passwords for that. So so that anyone the boot option will not be changed. Okay, so that means like I am the user who is seeing this activity. So I am only the authorized to change these things. Okay, so at that time you can also give the permissions. Suppose there is a Windows, there is a Linux machine, both are installed on your PC, right? So suppose you don't want to give the any PC, any persons to change your boot order. That means like instead of Windows, it should Linux should be boot. Okay. So those permission, if you don't want to give, so what we have to do means you just give the permission ch1. So we have to give these permissions. Okay. Just copy these commands and paste in the terminal. Okay. So remediations, so you can go to the grub.cfg or boot.grepg. So you can just select what exactly you required as per your boot level and as per your OS level. Okay. So bootloader password, as I told, like suppose you want to set a password. Okay. So you can also check the password. Suppose this is my just copying this command. So yeah, so I just paste here. Where is my screen? Yeah, this is my screen. So I just paste here. So mkdir. So it is asking for the password. Since I am just, if I give the password for the grub bootloader, so it will ask for the password. Okay, that means like if anyone want to change your bootloader, so it will not be easy for them. Okay, so since I'm not giving, I'm just Control D, clear the screen. Okay, yeah. So coming to the next one, the same thing, enter password, re-enter the password, then your encrypted password will be there. The same thing you can, after doing this, you have to update your grub. Okay. So yeah, additional processing hardening is not needed. Yeah, so I think additional ASLR. Yeah, this is one of the main thing actually when you are something like DOS attacks or some kind of virtual memories are there, no, with respect to any program. If someone knows the very good programming, so he can place the virtual memories to be exploited. Okay, so for such purpose, it should not be happen. So you have to go to the /etc, go to this file. So how to go to the file, particular file, configuration file? What is the command? So suppose if I want to go to this configuration file, right? So yeah, I think it's not copied or what? Copy. So gedit. Yes, I think I am not able to type this. So yeah, so this is a thing you can just execute the same thing in your one by one in your all VMs. Okay. So I think mandatory access control. SE Linux is basically is used for your firewall, right? Firewall kind of things, whether it is properly configured or not. So you can check it out from the options mode. Yeah, so I think we have to focus more on fail parts only. So I think you are clear about this hardening, right? Any doubts here? Any doubts here in the hardening thing?
There is any executive report is there? How many vulnerabilities are there in this report?
Yes, sir, it is there, sir. I mean, like within this report you are telling or any fresh report, sir?
No, within this report, there is anything like a snapshot to manager to see that this running of Linux is having these many problems.
Yes, sir, it is there, sir. In the top, if you go, just I'm just showing you. If you go to the top of the report, here, sir, it is there. What is the scoring and what is the percentage, and where exactly the your hardening has been passed and where it is failed. So this is the executive report kind of thing, sir, where a manager can see what are the basic score he is having, and what is the percentage he has to improve for the testing, sir.
Tayyab, let me explain this.
Yes.
This report is very important. You please look into that. Anything which you are editing, any kind of operating system, so that gives editing means it's like an editing in the sense with respect to there is a setting of list of the activities which are required for security would be defined, so that whether it is following or not, that is what majorly editing. And this tool is doing assessing the entire Linux box and telling about that these are the things are passed, these are the things are failed. Let us look about this particular Linux operating system. There are divided into steps. First step was initial setup, and even it is discussing about the file system configuration. The file system configuration, how you have to configure with respect to the files, your security. See, if Linux is one of the very our file system architecture is very nicely built it so that even the file, everything is in a file. Am I right? In Linux, everything is a file. Your disk is a file, and you similarly you are anything device connected, USB is also file, and your printer is also file. So that file security is taken care by this file system itself. That's what very important configuring the file systems. If you look into that, there are total initial setup, there are 14 failures are there. That
Yes, sir. Welcome back. So now we will see like so how to harden a Linux operating systems. Okay. So yeah. So basically now like we have been seeing like how the Windows and how the Linux will work. So next we will be seeing like how to harden and what are the basic steps you have to use while you are auditing any Linux operating systems and with respect to any softwares or with respect to any the web servers or with respect to any applications or with respect to any web services are used, etc. Okay. So this is the architecture of the Linux. I think no need to go in depth of this. There might be application, there might be shells, there might be kernel, there might be hardwares and utilities. Okay. So is in always audit in general, what are the basic things we have to keep in mind when we are hardening any Linux OS, right? So there might be users created. Suppose if you are installed any a default Linux operating systems, right? So what are the basic things which will come into the your mind is you will be having a user accounts. Okay. So user account, how many user accounts are there? Whether the user accounts have been given a proper privileges or not, whether the passwords are very encrypted or not. So how many characters the passwords are, whether it is a 8 character or 10 characters or 12 characters or 14 characters. Okay. So whether the OS updates have been done or not with respect to the Linux, whether if it is updated, how you are updating your patches, whether you are updating your patches with respect to the uh, these things or not. What do you mean by hardening? Hardening is nothing but like suppose there is a default OSR which you have been installed on your on your laptop or in your workstation on your PC. So hardening is nothing but like you are making your PC or your OS into the more secure way. Okay, that means like there is a default installation of n-1. So you are making your PC as a n. Okay, that means like unnecessary services, unnecessary things. You are removing either what are the things which are there already present in your PC. You are making them as a hardened. Okay, hardened in the sense like as per of security point of view. So these are the different parameters. I think hope you got a clarity, right, sir? Alok, sir? Yes. Okay. So that means like hardening is one of the technique. So then coming your OS updates. So OS update, I think uh, you are well aware about the how you manage the Windows updates, right? So can anyone can tell what how you can update your Windows updates? Suppose in the case of your Windows machine. So how your updates will work basically? So generally, when a Microsoft will release a patches, can anyone can tell in case of the Windows? Any expert from the chat? Any experts from the chat? Two times in a year. I mean, like 2 times in a year you will do or what's that basically? So you install the patches. Yes. So definitely you have to install the patches. So Microsoft will give once 40 days or every 30 days, right? The patches. So as soon as the updates, suppose there are I mean, there are, yeah, 30 days once. And the manual, there are two techniques are there. I think you are aware about those things, right? And I think there is a manual, there is a automatic updates, right? So which one you have to do? Automatic and manual, right? Automatic while booting. Yes, correct. So there are different methods are there, but it's recommended like as per our work schedule. So we are not in the mood to do the manual updates. So it's better to keep the same thing in the automatic mode. Okay. So that is the thing which you have to. So you have to do automatic updates. Okay. So yeah. you have to do the updates of the these things. Okay. So as per concern about your this updates, so this things will be installed on your these things. Okay. So updates will be like something. It is a added security one. Okay. So it might be your suppose the updates also, like updates, how you are updating the updates, whether you are going to the genuine website, I mean like Ubuntu, if it is a Ubuntu or if it is a CentOS, whether you are going with the particular CentOS website, if it is a Ubuntu website, whether you are going to the ubuntu.com/download. So how many members have the basic idea about this checksum? How many members will check whether when we are downloading any software or any OS from the internet, there is a MD5 checksum? So why it is used basically, can anyone can tell? There is a MD5 checksum, sir, like in the website, right? So what is the need of the that checksum basically? Integrity of the software will be maintained, right? I mean, like there is a no such man in the middle, right? Man in the middle or something has been changed. Okay. So for that purpose, your the integrity should be maintained, right? Your MD5 checksum should be same before download and after download. Okay. So such kind of things we have to check while you are downloading any softwares or any while you are downloading any OS with respect to the, it might be your Windows or it might be your Linux, etc. Okay. So those those parameters will come under your OS updates. Okay, it's not like simply your you have been given any link and just downloaded to the website. Okay, you also have to check what is the genuinity, whether the website is genuine, and how it is downloading, whether it is downloading with a secure channel, and if it is secure channel, how it is downloading, whether it is downloading with concerned packages or not, whether it is downloading with the particular packages or with particular MD5 checksum. So enable enable firewall. So what do you mean by firewall? Basically, it's a hardware firewall. It is a desktop firewall. What do you mean by hardware firewall? So basically, like when you are updating any things from the market, right? What basically you have to do? So hardware and software, right? So, but yeah, OS will be loaded on hardware. So OS will be, hello. Yes. So OS will be loaded on your hardware. So that means like your inbuilt desktop firewall will be there. Okay. So those things are you have to keep in mind while you are enabling. Okay. So in general, like you should always enable the firewall. Okay. You should always enable the firewall. And how this firewall can be enabled in your desktop? How this firewall can be enabled? Can anyone can tell what is the command to enable the firewall? How you do in your Windows machine basically, sir? Services.msg or firewall.cpl.
Yeah, you are looking about messages, huh? Okay.
Yeah, so I think I have been seeing a lot of things from the chat box. Yes, yes, I think yeah, NetSec Advanced Firewall Show, firewall.cpl, NetSH. These are all things will come under the firewall. Okay, but the thing is like suppose if you are enable the firewall, this is not enough actually. Okay, so you have to disable the firewall activities also. You have to disable the firewall activities, and what exactly you have to allow, whether you are allowing any particular port, you are allowing a particular port to the particular services Yes. So yeah, coming to the fourth parameter, like disable the guest account. Okay. So guest accounts is basically you should enable in your PC, or how basically. Suppose in your case of in your Windows case, so you should always whether you should rename or you should be disabled one. Okay. So such kind of things you have to maintain for hardening your OSs, and also coming to the manage monitor the logs. Okay. So log, as I told during the installation of the this Linux partition, all your logs will be saved in the /var/log. Okay. So if you go to their particular location, so these things will be saved under the /var/log. Okay. And coming to the sixth parameter, check file permissions. Okay. So as I told in one of the this thing is suppose there is a file which has been given as a permission. So what kind of permissions you are giving, whether you are giving a read permissions or write permissions. So such kind of activity you have to see. Okay. So these are some of the things which you have to see while you're hardening your PCs. Okay. And also, like as I discussed with respect to the firewalls, so you have to always check whether you have been, first of all, the package, the IP tables package is installed or not. Okay. So how to check the IP address status of your following commands? If it is in the case of IP address, so can anyone can tell what is the command to enable the IP tables in your firewall? What is the command in your firewall? IP tables, net has IP showfall. Yeah, correct. So there is to check the IP table status, you have to use dpkg. I'm just typing in the chat box, dpkg space -s IP tables. Okay. So dpkg -s IP tables. Okay. In case of your Windows, these things. Okay. Yeah. So coming to these things. So check the current IP tables rules. So how you can check your IP table rules in your Ubuntu? So you have to use the command sudo space IP tables -l, L for list, capital L. Okay. I think, are you able to see my chat, right? The commands which I'm typing. I think you are able to see my these things. Yeah, correct. So this will print out the basic command sudo IP tables -l. L is nothing but the list. It will list the IP tables. Okay. So this will print out a list of 3 chains. Okay. One is input, and one is forward, and another one is output. Okay. So like as it is, we are doing. Suppose if we are giving access to the dpkg-s IP tables not working. So you are checking in your Ubuntu only, sir. I think dpkg-s IP table not working. No, you have to check into this Linux app, not in Windows. Danish sir, you have to check in this thing. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we'll come one by one to this. There is some list of commands are there with respect to some 500 or 600 pages of document is there. So how to manually harden and all those things we'll check, sir. Okay. So coming to this, yeah. So change file permissions, manage services, hardening, etc., etc. These are some of the things which we cover in today's topic. Okay. So manage user accounts. So what is the manage user accounts? How you can do the manage user accounts? How you can check user manage is one of the critical one. Okay. So what basically this manage user accounts is done. So how you can check the users? What are the users which you have been done? So how you can check basically, sir? Like users are nothing but the user. What are the different users which have been created? As I told, like user add user commands which have been shown in the Linux, right? So such kind of users, how you are giving a privilege, how you are giving a passwords, what privilege you are giving, what kind of user rights you are giving. So such kind of things also we'll see one by one in these things. Okay. So how the user is management of system is not effective. So there might be like security loopholes. Okay. So that means like your system is invited by the attackers to hack. Okay. So that means if your system is compromised, so your private and sensitive information which is residing on your system may also be compromised. Okay. So in order to protect all those things, so very good tools are there in our these things. there is a Linus tool is there. There is a one Syscat tool is there, and also we'll see like we'll see today like manually as well as through toolbase also. Okay. So these are the settings as we discussed in the morning, like how to add a system settings through your GP edit to for managing the users, etc. Okay. So these are the user accounts. Like as soon as you go to the all settings in the, this is a Linux operating system. Okay, it's not a Windows. Okay, we'll come to the Windows in the next hardening. Okay, this is only the hardening which I am showing for you. So anyway, this I've just skip this part. Yeah. So these are the some of the OS updates package. Like when you update the settings, right? When you update the settings or updates in the these things. So see here, the package information was last updated 168 days ago. Okay. So that means like my system is not up to the date. Okay. My patches are not up to the date. Okay. So that means like I'm not hardening my system. So it's what it is giving error like it was last updated 168 days ago. So for that purpose, you should always go to the check option to check for the new software updates. Okay. The similar thing which you do in Windows. Okay. This is in case of Linux. The same thing which you do in Windows, like Windows update बोल के मारते हैं ना. So the same thing which is applicable in the case of Linux. Okay. The thing is like you have to type in the later you have to type. Then you will get a software update manager where you have to check. There is an option check बोल के. So you have to click the check and whatever the updates are there, it will connect the official website of the Ubuntu and take necessary downloads to update it. Okay. Yeah. So these are things which you can do OS updates. So updates will be have to be checked daily, or when there are security updates, you have to display immediately. And there is a when there are other updates, you have to display weekly. Okay. So this type of updates or this type of settings you have to make in your the softwares and update section of your Linux machines. Okay. So these are the some of the things which you have to follow it when while you are suppose there is a default OS which is already installed on your PC. Okay. So the next thing is what I am trying to say you. Okay. So default OS is installed. The second parameters or default parameters which I am explaining. So you have to do. Okay. For the time being, what I have to do is for the unless and until you get the perfectionist, so you have to do the same settings in your VirtualBox or VMware, etc. Okay. So these are the some of the things like open GTL's library, and you have to install. So whenever you give the updates, so it gives the option to install. Okay. So it is everything. It is done through the this what I am showing, trying to show you. It is purely a graphical user interface. Okay. So terminally, how you can update it, you will see by this. There is one command. There is one PDF file through which we can install it. Okay. So that is the thing which we can see. And yeah, and I'll just show you one this thing. Uh, I'll just open one VM, so that you will get a clarity actually in that. So there is a Ubuntu Linux which installed. So it is the one of the Ubuntu default. So let me just start the VM of the Ubuntu Linux machine. So if you are parallel, if you have that, you can also open in your PCs, okay? So that we can take screenshots as a POC. Yeah, so I think my VM is starting. So I think you are able to see my VM, which is starting.
No, no.
Black
It
screen.
may take some time, I think. Maybe in few seconds.
Now you can able to see my.
Still black screen. Yeah, well, I think it's coming. Yes. Deb, whether it is coming, your audio?
Tayyab, there is no audio from your side.
Hello, can you able to yeah, now it is, I think it was muted, sir, I think, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, hello. Yeah, I think
Yes, we are able to listen you now. Please
yes,
continue.
yeah, okay. So I think you can also see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes. So these are the files actually which you have to be take into the consideration. Okay. So so you have to use, this is a command actually. Suppose I'm just typing. Yeah. Sorry, you have to yeah. I have to get install. So open JDK. Yeah. So this is the command actually, which is used to download the latest your Java version. Okay. The prerequisite for installing the Syscat tool is OpenJDK, right? So prior to this, you have to, what you have to do is, suppose if it is a latest, I mean like the default OS, you have to, first of all, you have to update your PC, apt-get update. Okay. So you have to apt-get update, then your PC will be updated with the latest patches. Okay. Then next you have to install the Java JDK, sorry, JDK hyphen JRE. Okay, so this is the package which you need to be installed with respect to the for the prerequisite. Okay. So